In the summer of 1986, the Celtics were playing at the absolute peak of their powers. Led by Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish, they had just secured the franchise's 16th NBA championship. But an aging roster means a closing window. To keep their title hopes alive, the front office had carefully engineered a succession plan to find the perfect young prodigy. They found him in Len Bias. Selected with the second overall pick in the draft, the 6'8" forward from Maryland was a physical marvel. He was the ultimate bridge to the future, fully expected to carry the franchise into the next decade. Less than 48 hours after hearing his name called, Bias collapsed in his college dorm room. He passed away from a cardiac arrhythmia caused by a cocaine overdose. A week that began with a historic championship coronation instantly became a period of intense mourning. With one devastating loss, the team's entire succession plan crumbled to dust. Without a young star to absorb the grueling escapade of an 82-game season, the burden of maintaining the dynasty fell right back onto the aging veterans. The extra minutes accelerated their physical decline. Larry Bird soon developed chronic back and Achilles injuries that prematurely ended his prime. Kevin McHale faced a similar deterioration. By the 1987 playoffs, he was playing critical, high-stakes games on a broken foot. As the legendary core broke down, the franchise was desperate. They needed someone to step in and fill a seemingly impossible void. The dynasty was suffocating under the weight of an empty roster spot. Someone had to carry the torch, and the responsibility fell to a completely unexpected, reluctant hero. Enter Reggie Lewis. Drafted 22nd overall in 1987, the quiet rookie from Northeastern University stepped right into a chaotic, grieving locker room. He was never intended to be the next Len Bias. But what Lewis lacked in draft day hype, he made up for with a relentless work ethic and a steep development curve. This chart tracks his rise. Lewis jumped from averaging just 4.5 points a game as a rookie to stringing together sustained 20-point seasons. He grew into an all-star role, and after Bird retired, the team named him captain. He paired that offensive efficiency with elite defensive prowess. Lewis became one of the few players in the league capable of challenging its new reigning superstar. In one defining game, Lewis blocked Michael Jordan 4 distinct times. He cemented a reputation as the ultimate Jordan stopper. Lewis proved to be the exact two-way anomaly Boston needed. He was the piece that could counter the Chicago Bulls and keep the Celtics relevant deep into the 1990s. Then the momentum violently shifted. During an April 1993 playoff game against Charlotte, Lewis inexplicably collapsed on the hardwood. A dream team of doctors evaluated him, but their findings were completely conflicting. Some diagnosed a fatal heart defect that required immediate retirement, while others suggested it was a benign fainting disorder. Desperate to return to his teammates, Lewis clung to the positive diagnosis. He secured medical clearance to resume light physical activity. On July 27, 1993, while shooting baskets at an off-season workout at Brandeis University, Lewis collapsed a second time. Despite attempts to revive him, he could not be resuscitated. The emotional blow to the city was devastating. Fans watched their hard-working, reluctant savior suffer the exact same fatal outcome the franchise had just spent 7 years trying to recover from. No other team in the history of professional sports has lost 2 cornerstone players to sudden death within a 7-year window. The sequence gutted the organization from the inside out. The systemic fallout only compounded the tragedy. When Boston petitioned the NBA's Board of Governors for salary cap relief to replace Lewis, the league refused to grant them adequate space. This chart illustrates the financial burden. Due to base year compensation, the franchise received a tiny fraction, just $480,000, in cap relief for their multi-million-dollar star. Unable to rebuild, the Celtics plummeted into a dark age, sparking a 22-year championship drought. Basketball fans will forever debate the what-if scenarios. They wonder what might have happened if Bias and Lewis had lived to challenge Jordan's Bulls. But the true story is about the sheer burden of survival. Reggie Lewis stepped up and heroically carried a heavy torch he was never meant to hold. Losing both him and Len Bias remains the most heartbreaking tragedy in the history of American sports.